Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, councillors. Good to see you all here. Thank you very much for coming. As you know, this evening's agenda, we've got quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to crack on. I'll go through the housekeeping first so we can get that out of the way. And that is that I confirm the meeting is being live streamed to the public via YouTube. You all know the fire exits, and there's no fire alarm plan for tonight. The first thing I need to do, though, is confirm that all councillors have received the information required for them to deal with this meeting. Good, thank you. And I'll remind you that the correct etiquette is for the raising and counting of hands. Now, our first item on the agenda is to elect the chairman of the council and signing the acceptance of office. I now move over to the executive officer as to how many nominations that we've had for chairman of the council.
We have received 2 nominations for the position of chair of the council, being Councillor Moore and Councillor Knott.
Right. On that basis, I think that each of us have the ability to provide a short summary of our position before we vote on the election. I'll invite Councillor Knott to go first.
Sorry, sign of old age when you've got to put reading glasses on, isn't it? Right. Hi everyone. I just wanted to say a few words about why I've agreed to stand for chair. I did take some time to think about it when I was nominated, but ultimately I said yes because I do genuinely care about this council and where we're going. I've been a councillor for 7 years almost, and for the last almost a year I've been a vice chair, which has given me a much better understanding of what the role involves day to day. It's given me the chance to support the chair, work closely with councillors, the proper officer and his team, and to see how important leadership and teamwork are. I think most of you know me well by now. I'm approachable, hardworking, and I try to be fair and balanced. I just want to do a good job for the council and for the community we represent. One thing I do think is important is that we're proud of being a progressive gold standard council, and having a female chair would reflect that positive direction as well. Not because it's about making a statement for the sake of it, but because it shows we continue to move forward and represent our whole community. I also think it's important that we lead by example. A lot of people assume council roles are only for those who are retired or have lots of spare time, but that's not the reality anymore. I think it's important people can see that those in full-time employment, people with school-aged children, and people balancing busy lives can still step forward and play an active role in local government. Especially with elections coming up in May 27, I think as a gold standard council, it's up to SPC to help lead the way and encourage a wider range of people to get involved in the future. Most importantly, if I'm elected, I want everyone to feel listened to and respected even when we don't always agree. I think councils work best when people work together, support each other and keep focused on what's best for residents. I really appreciate your support tonight and I'd be proud to serve as your chair. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councillor Knott. I'll just give you my short speech, and that is becoming chair of our council was never an ambition of mine, as you know. I only got the position after 2 chairs resigned, and in effect I was left holding the baby. Recently, another councillor had said to me that being they too were in a similar position of no real personal ambition, but they just wanted to be there to serve their community. And that's still my driver. Becoming a councillor, you want to make sure that people of Southwater receive the best from their parish council, which helps make Southwater such a great place to live. Since my appointment, I've given a significant amount of my time to promote and improve the council, playing a large part in the changes and improvements. And we've achieved a lot. And, you know, things like the monthly Saturday surgery, I've been, an ardent advocate of this. And it's good to let, the community come and talk about it. And our team are aware of all the other contributions I make, which aren't always on the radar. And I've got a very low instance of providing apologies for non-attendance. Southwater is already facing some big decisions over the next few years, regarding the local authority restructure. And last year I gave a commitment to continue to serve while this happens. But as you know, next year we all have to stand for re-election. And as matched, I'd hope there wouldn't be any need for a disturbance or a change of any challenges. But because we've seen the turmoil and disruption that only in local, in government, that has happened through those personal ambitions. And it's a good reminder that we need stability during this time, as disruption to the process is likely to cause conflict and unrest. This year, thanks to Justin and our team, we achieved a gold status at local council award schemes, and we've embarked on a new neighbourhood plan to help determine what Southwater should look like, and we can't allow disruption to affect this. Therefore, again, my plea is for you to continue to support me as chair, with our focus on working together to serve the people of Southwater and get the best for them. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Right. Move to a vote now.
Now, we now have to...
Could I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you. Stats show that women are underrepresented at local government at parish level. In fact, estimates state that only 36 of local councillors are women and 17% of local council chairs are women. How will you, both of you, proactively work to increase representation and participation of women in our parish council, especially as chair on important committees? Could I ask you first?
Well, I totally agree. We need representation from all aspects of our community. The only difficulty is that you can't actively promote looking at one gender or type of person to fulfill the councillor roles. People have to step forward, and those best stepping forwards then can go up for selection. So I've always seen this council as a very open council, and wanting to get a good representation within the council of all within in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as Councillor Moore said, it's a lot on who actually comes forward and puts himself forward. But I do think that in all walks of life, when having a female or a woman at a higher level within any kind of organisation often lends people to sort of thinking, actually, that's something I can do that, I can be part of it. And I also think that we do within the wider community still have, and I don't say I'm agreeing with it, but we do have this perception that the council has got a perception that we are all run by a lot of retired people, men mainly. And I'm not saying that's the case, but I think that's how it's perceived. And maybe having a female as chair will actually help to change that perception and allow more people to want to be part of it. Younger people as well. We have had younger people come on before want to be part of it, women with young children, and they've kind of gone down the route and then changed their minds because I think they just feel that it's, it wasn't quite for them. So it would be lovely to have we have got more variety, I will say, than we've had in a long time with people from different backgrounds. So, which is good.
Yes.
Really, it's just to ask. When I first joined, I had no idea how involved council work was for everybody, especially in the office as well as councillors. So really, it's just, and as Derek alluded to, we don't necessarily see all the work that chair and vice chair does. So, Nikki, I just wonder if how will you balance that with a full-time job?
So I've always made sure I've made time for things on the council. Today I came in. I read the pack. I've spent 3 hours today reading the pack. I respond to emails really quickly. My job is flexible. I work from home. I do have the ability to take time off during the day for meetings and things, which is why I can attend day meetings. So, which is why I've always been able to continue doing, going on anything. So I'm lucky in that I'm not office based. I do have flexibility, and I can plan my own diary. So I can be there to support the council in whatever is needed and give it the time it needs.
Yes, Councillor Woodrow.
Unplug the Councillor Woodrow. Mine's working.
It's this one's been unplugged. That's fine.
When I moved it.
Right.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm on. Right. Yeah.
Stopping anyone else talking.
So it's just on the kind of stability question. So you kind of said, if the neighbourhood plan's going to run for the next couple of years, and you've got the elections in 27, you've got kind of the devolution process. So it's kind of simple question to both of you: are you planning to stand in May 27? Yeah, that's a simple question really. Councillor North.
Councillor Knott.
Yes, I intend to stand in 27.
Remember at this stage that next year we have to stand as councillors. Once we've stood as councillors, then the process then happens, the same process of appointing councillors to the necessary offices. So, but I can stand as a councillor next year as well. So yes.
Cool, thank you.
That's both. Right, as there looks to be no further questions, we now have to move forward to a vote. Can I move over to you to...
Yeah.
So a vote will be done in accordance with standing orders, so by a show of hands. So those in favour of Councillor Knott, please raise your hand in the usual manner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those in favour of Councillor Moore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So the vote proves in favour of Councillor Moore staying on as chairman, as elected for chairman for the ensuing year. It's thereby resolved that Councillor Moore has been elected as chairman of the council. I will now arrange declaration of acceptance of office. If you sign there, and I can date it after.
Right, I thank you for your support on that, and we'll now move forward on the next item, which is to elect the vice chairman of the council and assign the acceptance of office. Can I move over to you again?
Yes, nominations were received from councillors Knott and councillors Vickers for the position of vice chairman.
Now, Councillor Knott, you've given a talk about your position of council. Do you want to reiterate that, or are you quite happy to just remain on that? Councillor Vickers, would you like to say anything?
Just a few words. I think you all know me quite well. I was first elected to this council back in 1989. It's been an honour to serve this council for that long. I've also been a district councillor, as you know, since 1991. I've lived in Southwater for 40 years in my current house in July. It's been an honour to represent this village, and I'm really keen that we continue to hold all the things that we feel really strongly about, that we continue to advertise all the good things about this village. The neighbourhood plan needs to be done, and it's really important. I know how much work went into the previous neighbourhood plan. I understand how that works. I've obviously worked in the district council for many years, so I know all about planning. I don't know everything, but I do know about how the whole system works. Local government reorganisation is going to be interesting. There's going to be more work for parish councils, and really important going forward that we have a strong bonded parish council that can take this lovely village forward. I know there's a lot of pressure on us to take more housing, but that's for another day. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Councillor Vickers. Right, we need to now move.
Are there any questions?
Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask either of the candidates? No. On that, if you can go through now, or do you want me to?
Well, you can now.
All right. Right. Okay. So, can we please have a show of hands for Councillor Knott as being the vice chairman of the council? Please raise your hands in favour of Councillor Knott. So that's 5. And for those in favour of Councillor Vickers, please raise your hands.
So the vote proves in favour of Councillor Vickers as to be elected as vice chair of the council for the ensuing year. Resolution is thereby approved. I'll arrange the declaration of acceptance of office.
Could you have my
Right. Thank you for that. And I welcome Councillor Vickers as Vice Chair of this council. We'll now move on to item 38, which is apologies of absence.
Apologies have been received from Councillors Everard and Councillor Briley.
We'll now move on to item 39, declarations of interest. Do any of you have any declarations of interest within the matters that will be discussed in this meeting? There's no declarations of interest. The item 40 is to receive and approve the minutes of the council meeting of the 18th of March 2026. You've all had these. If you attended that meeting, you may vote on the matter. Can I have a proposer for those? Councillor Watkins proposed, Councillor Haddon has seconded. All those in favour of that were at that meeting?
So, any against?
Yeah. Any abstentions? Any against? And we move on to item 2 of the council meeting minutes. Are there any matters arising from those minutes? No. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Please could I request that items 49 and 50 are brought forward?
Those are the county and district council reports, and I think that Councillor Jeffries is here to give those, and I think it makes good sense to bring those forwards to allow you to attend other meetings. So yes, Councillor Jeffries, please come forward.
Thank you, Chair.
First of all, before you start, congratulations on your appointment as being the county councillor for South Water and Shipley. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair. If I thought I wasn't busy already, I've seen nothing yet now. Thank you for allowing me to bring this forward, because I think, as I said at the start of the meeting, I've suddenly found myself with 5 meetings all at the same time this evening, so that's a new one for me. So I've got to dart about a bit tonight. So thank you for bringing that forward. So I've got nothing to report on the county council side at the moment, because the election only took place on the 7th, and currently there is no administration in place. The annual meeting will be taking place this Friday, by which time an administration will be in place and committee appointments made. So from the following meeting onwards, I'll start having some news for you, Chair. So just moving on quickly to the district council report. I'll be very brief, as I understand this has been circulated to everybody ahead of this meeting. So the return of the sunset sessions are coming back to the country park. So last year we ran a pilot scheme, and that was very well received by many people, and there was multiple requests to have those return. So I'm delighted to say that they will be returning starting from next Thursday, the 28th of May. So they'll be running on the last Thursday of every month throughout summer until the end of August. There is a list of acts and upcoming and information on the District Council's website. So if anyone's interested in having a look at that, by all means do so. So that'll be another great thing to come back to the country park this summer, and hopefully well received once again by the community. Similarly, in similar fashion, the Friday lates that are held in the town centre, which have been very successful for the past few years, are also returning as of Friday the 5th of June. Again, the lineup for that is been released on the council's website. As per the previous few years, the market and food and drink stalls will be open late. And more information can be found on the council website, again on all information anyone would want to see on that. Just moving on to planning matters. So DC 251658 Woodford Shipley Road. Although I appreciate it's not technically in the parish, it does straddle the boundary. As many will know, in March this application was deferred because committee members were not satisfied with what was being proposed by Bellway Homes as the developer. Since that deferral, the application was heard again at committee last week, and I am delighted to say that the developer appears to have listened to the parish, district councillors and the public in removing the flatted block on the settlement edge, which was causing a lot of contention, and rightly so. So that has been replaced and removed entirely for additional terraced housing, and there has been an agreement that I've found out subsequently to increase planting along the southern and western edges to further screen the development from that settlement edge as it goes out into the countryside. So considering that development was already a done deal, if you will, on that site, has been for a while now, I think this was the best outcome that we could have asked for, considering the circumstances. And just finally, just to update you, the government, as I'm sure you're aware, of launching a second consultation on local government reorganisation for West Sussex. As you'll know, last year, West Sussex County Council and the district councils and borough council, put forward two potential options for local government reorganisation in West Sussex. So West Sussex County Council had put forward a single unitary option for the whole of West Sussex, and the districts and boroughs had agreed on a 2 unitary authority model. So despite submissions to the government, they've decided they don't like that very much. So they have come back with another option, which is proposing Horsham paired with Chichester, Crawley, and Mid Sussex, and in one unitary in Arran, Ada, and Worthing making up the other proposed unitary. That consultation is now open. The consultation is open until the 15th of June. I would encourage as many people as possible, be it the parish or parish councillors and residents in general, to contribute to that. As much as I appreciate the government wanting to find out the views of residents, considering we've just gone through a whole heap of consultation on this, I'm disappointed that it had to come back to the table again when everyone seemed to be coming around to the same idea on how to move forward. So it is open until, as I say, the 15th of June. So I encourage everybody to have a read of that and contribute where possible. And that is my update for now, Chair. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Councillor Jeffries. Does anybody have any questions in relation to the report that Councillor Jeffries has just given? Councillor Watkins.
Councillor Jeffries, thank you very much for the report. You mentioned Bellway Homes and their development on Shipley Road. Obviously, you're probably aware as well that Southwater and Shipley are probably going to be entering into a joint neighbourhood plan. Can you confirm whether those properties in Shipley Road are going to be part of the joint allocation towards the housing requirements for Shipley and Southwater?
I don't think I can answer that at the moment without looking into it further. I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head, but I can find out for you.
If you could please perhaps report back to the Executive Officer. Thank you.
Certainly.
Yes, thank you for that. Councillor Vickers.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to add my congratulations to Councillor Jeffrey on his appointment to county. Can we write and thank Councillor Nigel Jupp for the service that he gave to this council? And my other comment was the Woodfords application. There were also balconies in the original application which have been removed, so the overlooking issue has gone away. Obviously, the outline permission was already granted, so I'm glad that they came back with an amended plan that was more acceptable. But thank you.
Right, thank you, Councillor Vickers. Were there any other questions for Councillor Jeffries at this stage?
Just to note that Councillor Jeffrey and myself have been in correspondence, and he will be coming to meet with myself and some of our officers to discuss various projects that we've got on the go that involve the county council. So as and when we'll provide reports back to council.
Thanks.
Yes, just to say I have received your email, Justin, and I will get back to you. Just check, permitting checking my diary, that is, but we'll get a date in the diary shortly.
Well, I'm sure you've had a few emails to get through.
Just a few, Chair.
Well, look, thank you very much, Councillor Jeffries, and we've realised the need for you to move to another meeting. So I thank you for coming us and giving those updates.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, we'll now move on to item 41, which is public question time.
None booked in to speak.
There are no members of the public booked in to speak. Yes, certainly.
So item 42 next, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 42 is scheme of delegation. You will have seen in your pack the scheme of delegation.
Hopefully the tracked changes are self-explanatory. Incorporates changes as a result of the newly adopted grievance policy and mental health wellbeing policy approved in March. Also provides additional clarity around what happens in the absence of the executive officer, with a more accurate split in terms of who takes on responsibility in the absence, where at this council the executive officer is also the responsible financial officer. And there's one change in particular worth noting further, which is the, where is it? Planning pre-application panel. So previously, this has been the chairs and vice chairs of council, F&GP, and planning. But in practice, it's not been particularly pragmatic or helpful, where we might have councillors who aren't on the planning committee without the training being approached to come to pre-application panel meetings with developers. It's helpful to have those who are on the planning committee attending those meetings. It just makes sense from a training point of view, and likewise a knowledge of various policies that are relevant to any planning application being considered, or any meeting with developers for pre-application.
Yes, it makes a logical conclusion of how we deal with that, doesn't it? Yeah.
So unless anyone has any further queries, I recommend approval.
Does anybody have any questions to raise on the scheme of delegation? If not, can I have a proposer, please, and a seconder? Proposed by Councillor Vickers, seconded by Councillor Watkins.
Vote, please.
Can I have a vote in favour of accepting those amendments to the scheme of delegation? Councillor Cole, scheme of delegation. Yeah. Yes. Yes, and that's unanimous.
Okay.
Thank you for that. We now move on to the terms of reference for the Finance and General Purposes Committee, the Planning Committee, HR Committee, Health and Safety Committee. And that's to consider the amendments to the Planning Committee's remit as per the track changes.
Mr. Chairman, can I just say something on that? Obviously, I did read it. Is this a clarification on the planning one, main functions? It's consider and comment upon local planning applications or other planning issues relating to the parish. We sometimes get asked to comment on things that are not within the parish. Can we extend that to include suitable wording?
Such as the development in Shipley Road, where the parish, it borders the parish boundary.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
Just some suitable wording to allow us to be able to comment on other areas.
So
adjoining parishes.
Approval of these amendments would be inclusive of the elective officer applying some changes to reflect that we, as a parish council, comment on both what's in the parish and where it impacts the parish.
And also with the neighbourhood plan going forward, we were going to increase the boundary, and I think probably if we got that in there now, then we can actually.
Yes, yeah, I think it's right to do it now. Right.
So subject to
that, and that's the amendment under the comment of local planning applications relating to parish, which will extend to other adjoining or affected parishes. Can I have a proposer for that, the change of the planning committee remit, please? Councillor Pearce has proposed, Councillor Potts has seconded. All in favour?
Unanimous.
Yes, and that's unanimous. Thank you.
So the next part of item 43 is just to approve the continued use. So no changes to these remits. So it's just, yeah.
So that's the remit of the F&GP committee, HR committee, and Health and Safety committee. Do we need to vote on those independently, or can we just do them
as per the item?
Yes, so we'll do that as per the item. So can I have a show of approval for the fact that those terms of reference continue? So can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Watkins, Councillor Villis is seconded. All those in favour? And again, unanimous. Thank you. Now we move on to item 44, appointments to committees, subcommittees, working groups, employer bodies and other as required by the following. And the first is under the Finance and General Purposes Committee, which is an appointment up to 12 members.
So in the pack, you'll see the current list. I've had no requests to come off the committee and none to come on currently. So on that basis, unless anyone else wishes to be appointed at this stage, it's just for noting.
Right. So that's just for noting.
Now we need to appoint chairman.
We now need to appoint the chairman of the Finance and General Purposes Committee. Have we had any nominations?
We've had one nomination for Councillor Pearce.
Right. Okay. Councillor Pearce, do we need any preamble, or we can just vote in? Councillor Pearce, you've been nominated as chairman of Finance and General Purposes. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Vickers proposed and Councillor Potts seconded. So all in favour of Councillor Pearce continuing as chair of Finance and General Purposes? That's unanimous. Thank you for that. We're now appointing the vice chair of Finance and General Purposes. And have we proposed?
We have had one nomination for Councillor Brown.
Right, Councillor Brown. We now need to vote in favour of Councillor Brown.
Oh,
yes, I need a proposer for that. Councillor Haddon proposed. Councillor Vickers has seconded. All those in favour of Councillor Brown, and that's again unanimous. Thank you for that. We're now moving to the Planning Committee, appointment of up to 9 members. Have we had any requests to change on the Planning Committee?
No requests to change. As I understand, all are content to carry on. When we get to the chairman's report, as you'll be aware, Councillor Stannard has resigned from the council, so he automatically come off any committees that he's on.
Right. Thank you for that. We now need to appoint a chairman, and the proposed chairmans are
Councillor Watkins.
Councillor Watkins. Can I have a proposer for Councillor Watkins as chair of planning? Councillor Pearce has proposed and Councillor Cole seconded. All those in favour? That's again unanimous. Thank you for that. Appointment of vice chairman for planning. Any proposals?
Councillor Villis.
Councillor Villis, who was the vice chair of planning. Can I have a proposer for Councillor Villis? Councillor Haddon has proposed, seconded by Councillor Watkins. All those in favour of Councillor Villis as vice chair? That again was unanimous. We now move on to item 3 of that, and that Health and Safety Committee. Appointment of up to 9 members. Have we had any other changes apart from the?
Just for the meeting minutes, I'll reaffirm Councillor Cole, Councillor Knott, Councillor Everard, Councillor Watkins, Councillor Villis, and Councillor Potts.
Thank you. We now need to appoint the chairman of the Health and Safety Committee. Have we had a proposer for the?
We have not, no.
We have not. The current chairman of the Health and Safety Committee is Councillor Villis. Am I correct? Or
yes, that's
yes.
current chairman.
Can I have a proposer that Councillor Villis continues?
Well, Mr. Chairman, is Councillor Villis willing and able to continue?
Yes. Are you willing and able? You are. Thank you. Right. Can I have a proposer for Councillor Villis as on the Health and Safety Committee? Councillor Pearce proposed, Councillor Cole has seconded. All those in favour? That again unanimous. Thank you. We now move on to item 4 of those, which is Human Resources Committee, appointment of 6 members.
Vice Chair. We missed the Vice Chair.
I'm sorry, I've missed the vice chairman of the Health and Safety Committee. Thank you for seeing that. The appointment of vice chair is
We've had a nomination for Councillor Potts.
Councillor Potts. Councillor Potts, are you willing and able? Right. Can I have a proposer for Councillor Not? Councillor Woodrow and proposed, and Councillor French has seconded. All those in favour? Thank you. That was it. Again, was unanimous. Right. We now move on to HR committee appointment of 6 members. These are automatic members because of our standing orders requires this chairman and vice chair of the respective committees to be the HR committee. Do we need to do anything?
Just note it. It's just for noting.
It's just for noting, right. Pre-application panel.
So as the scheme of delegation has been approved, the amended version, we will need to appoint 6 members. So 2 being the chairman and vice chairman of the planning committee, and then up to 4, ideally 4 other planning committee members. So because it's not always that we can get availability of all 6 persons. As long as we've got 2 or 3 councillors at these meetings, that's the main thing.
Right. Now, I would propose that the chairman of planning be the chairman of the planning and pre-application panel.
So, sorry, Mr. Chairman, they are the chair and vice chair of the planning committee.
They are
We're just
automatically.
Yeah, we're just
so it's just
attendees.
Right. So the other members need to be appointed. Yes.
Yes, please.
So can I have your willingness to be on that committee of the pre-application panel? Do we need to vote on each of the members, or
We should do, yeah.
yes? Right. Councillor Haddon has stepped
So
forwards.
if we get all 4 on, then we can vote them all on together.
Okay. Councillor Haddon has stepped forward as being part of it. Councillor Pearce.
I know Councillor Everard expressed an interest, but he's not here present.
He's not
so
here.
I'll put his name down.
I'm willing to continue on that application panel as well.
Okay.
Is that it? Yes.
That's
Right. So can we have a vote to appoint those members? And that's Councillor Haddon, Willis, Pearce, myself, and potentially Councillor Everard.
And Councillor Everard, yeah.
Yes. So can I have a show of hands, please, of those in favour? And thank you. That was unanimous. We now move on to the Southwater Neighbourhood Plan Consultation Group.
Just noted, the steering group members are as they are.
Right. Shall I record who they are on that panel?
It's just the same as what's
As
on
they-
the handout. So
Right. Okay.
move on to the emergency plan.
We'll now move on to the Southwater Emergency Plan coordinators and appointments, amendments to coordinators are required. I take it we're going to go with the existing.
Yes, with the addition
Panel.
of Councillor Potts, and Councillor.
Can I come off that one?
Okay.
We've got somebody else coming on.
Councillor Woodrow, you expressed an interest. Would you be willing and able to be a coordinator?
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
So appointment of Councillors Potts and Woodrow, Councillor Watkins to come off that, and then can we
Yes.
go to a vote, please?
Can I have a proposer and a seconder to confirm those changes? Councillor French has proposed, Councillor Watkins has seconded. All those in favour of those changes? And again, that's unanimous. Thank you for that. Neighbourhood Warden Steering Group. No, and that's just noting the members on that steering group. That is in those members are in the pack. We now move on to Climate Action Working Group. Note and or appoint members on this group. So within the Climate Action Working Group,
3 councillors, Councillors Not, Haddon and Potts, and then there's some external persons who make up the rest of the group.
Right, okay. Do we just need to note those?
Yes. Unless any other councillor wishes to come on that.
Are there any other councillors wishing to go on to the Climate Action Working Group? No, there's none at this stage. We'll now move on to non-signatory to verify bank reconciliations and statements. To note that Councillor Knott and Councillor Brown, as the appointed non-signatory verifiers of bank statements and reconciliation.
Take it as noted.
We take that as noted. Thank you. Thank you for that. We'll now move on to item 45, which is council representatives. To note, council appointed representatives and trustees approve any new appointments or amendments as required. The first one is Southwater Gill. There are we have to have 2 to 4 members within that that group. Currently, Councillor Watkins, Councillor Cole, and myself are councillors on that. My want is that if we can find, we're allowed up to 4, and I would like to get us up to the right level or up to the maximum level to make sure that we're there. I've done that job I've been in that position for a while. I will continue on, but I would look forward to other councillors coming on to as trustees, as appointed trustees. Are there any other councillors that are interested in that role? I think at the moment, probably with what's going on, we need to just hold a steady ship at the moment. Yes. Right. In which case that's noted. Southwater Project Liaison Group, 2 members and a chairman with no voting right. To note those 2, and it's just noting those 2 members.
So Councillor Stannard has resigned, so we need to appoint a second member to attend those liaison group meetings.
And that those meetings are held biannually. Yes. So we're looking for a Guild Project Liaison member.
I'd be able to join in Ian's place.
Councillor Woodrow has stepped forward to that. Thank you for that. We'll now move on to Southwater Village Hall Charity. We have 2 members on that, on the Village Hall Charity Committee.
Just note as is.
And just note as is, there's no change.
Yeah.
Right, thank you for that. Horsham Association of Local Council, we have 2 members.
For noting.
And again, 2 noting. Age UK Horsham, 1 member.
Councillor Vickers.
County District Parish Policing and Neighbourhood Watch. We've got 2 members and 1
Councillor
officer.
Pearce and Councillor Villas.
And we're continuing with that. West Sussex County Council Local Area Committee, which is 2 members who are.
So Councillor Moore and Councillor Watkins has come forward to fill the vacancy.
Right, so that's the 2 filled. Thank you. Southwater Road Safety Partnership, which is 2
Councillors
members.
Knott and Brown.
Right, and that will continue. Southwater Schools Meeting Group, 2 members and 1 officer.
So Councillor Brown, and there's a vacancy with Councillor Stannard leaving the council.
So we need an additional member on the Southwater Schools Meeting Group. Councillor Brown is one of them, and Councillor Woodrow has stepped forward. Thank you. We'll move to the Southwater Country Park Forum, 2 members and 1 officer. And that is current Councillor Haddon and Watkins. Is that remaining unchanged? Yes.
I'm aware, yeah.
Right, thank you.
You're covering the Older Persons Forum for the district.
Yes.
And then the last item, Welcome
Welcome
Club,
Club
isn't an appointment, but I would encourage for councillors to get in touch with the community engagement officer to try and attend at least one a year if possible. When councillors attend, the attendees do really enjoy it because they get the opportunity to speak to you directly where they may not have the opportunity to do so at a councillor surgery.
Yes, Councillor Vickers.
Yes, who's the contact for the Welcome Club?
Deborah Bailey.
Deborah
Thank
Bailey,
you.
yes. And she's quite
I know her.
happy to welcome us. We're always welcomed, and also there's cake and tea there, and I can highly recommend it. Well,
Monthly they meet.
it is, and I think it's the second Wednesday of every month, but I think we'll confirm that.
Thank you.
We're now moving on to item 46, the chairman's report. The only thing that I want to report is that Ian Stannard, Councillor Ian Stannard, has resigned. His life balance of work, as you know, he works in Christ Hospital School, and he's found that his call to work there is taking a high number of hours in his day, so he has reluctantly resigned, and therefore the vacancy has been reported to the monitoring officer, and I think you've put out a post clarifying the situation. Apart from that, the only thing is that, as remember, next week we have our annual parish meeting,
Which is not a council meeting.
which is not a council meeting. It's a community meeting. We organise it, but it's for the community, for the whole parish to get together. So if you can make it, I would really appreciate your attendance.
And if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just to confirm that the chairman's annual report is currently being prepared. So with the chairman, myself, and the community engagement officer, and we hope to publish it next week. Just a report on the whole year.
Right, and now we'll move on to item 47, the executive officer's report.
So, just a recent reminder, circulation to all parish councils from standards at Horsham, a reminder of adhering to standing orders, and these meetings have been typically run pretty well, but just a polite reminder that councillors should only really speak once per item, unless a point of clarification or a point of order at the chairman's discretion. And we should all address the chairman when putting questions through, ideally. Code of conduct and standards training. I sent out an e-learning link to those who've not completed it in the last 12 months. I'm pleased to say some of those councillors have already completed it. If you've received this email from me and not yet carried it out, please could you do so in the next couple of weeks? I would appreciate that. And then just a general councillor training reminder. Any councillors who are appointed or reappointed as chairman or vice chairman of the council to any standing committees or aspiring to be a chairman or vice in the future should attend chairmanship training as soon as practically possible. And likewise attend any training relevant to a standing committee if you've been newly appointed or would like to be appointed in the future. Any training requirements myself and the assistant executive officer can assist with. And it's not exclusively to that. I would always encourage training development for all councillors. So if there are any topics that you're interested that you think relate to the council that maybe not be cookie cutter or available through the typical areas, just get in touch if you're unsure, and then we can discuss whether it's relevant. And there's now different methods available. So we've got some e-learning packages for certain things like health and safety, HR related things. I will be rolling out equality, diversity, inclusivity training for all councillors due to the regulations changes to do with sexual harassment, and the need for a policy on that, which will come to the next council meeting, and likewise training. I think it's important for councillors as well as employees, first and foremost. Local government reorganisation and community asset transfers. So I can confirm that I've just had an update following our expression of interest letter, which was sent to Horsham District Council on the 19th of December 2025, that HDC are in principle happy to transfer all assets listed as consulted on in the Local Government Reorganisation Community Assets Transfer Survey, except for Fox's Close parcel of land. We separately expressed an interest in Beeson House to acquire the freehold outside of the community asset transfer policy, and on the basis of a district valuation. However, HDC have been unwilling to consider it. I will work on completing the necessary initial expression of interests forms for each asset, then produce business case plans, inclusive of maintenance and management of the various assets. This is what Horsham District Council require as part of the community asset transfer process. These will be presented to the working group initially, then on to the council for consideration approval prior to submission. Horsham District Council have advised they will obtain their own necessary legal and planning advice, followed by best value valuations upon receipt of the expression of interest forms and full applications. Apprentice Business Support Officer update. So we're currently re-advertising the role following additional HR advice and in response to the successful applicant having withdrawn due to a change in personal circumstances. The HR committee have been provided a more detailed update on the recruitment process. The closing date for applications is 9 a.m. Thursday, 4th of June. If you do know of anyone or of anyone it might be of interest to through family or other colleagues, residents, please do assist in sharing the advert. Likewise, if you can reshare posts on social media, that would always be appreciated. 3G pitch application. I think members will be aware that the Planning Inspectorate has now issued its decision in respect of South Walter Gill CIO's appeal relating to the proposed 3G pitch at the Gill. The appeal has been allowed and planning permission has been granted, subject to conditions. The inspector found that the proposal would not cause unacceptable harm in the living conditions of nearby residents in relation to noise and disturbance, and that the proposal would retain an enhanced sporting use on the site. The inspector also concluded that the development would comply with the relevant planning policies. A separate cost decision has also been issued. The inspector noted that HDC's planning committee refused the application contrary to officer recommendation, and found that HDC had not provided sufficient evidence to substantiate its reasons for refusal. Hence, a full award of costs has therefore been made against HDC. For clarity, this appeal decision relates simply to the planning position. The restricted covenant position remains separate, and members were provided with a confidential high-level summary note on the 2nd of April, as I'm sure you're aware. I have informed Surrey Hill solicitors this week of the appeal decision, and any related legal, financial or governance implications for the council will be considered through the proper formal and confidential route if and when necessary.
Is that the end of your notices? Thank you very much.
Sorry, I've just got just out of interest. Why did HDC not want to hand over Fox's Close? Is there anything special about it? Or?
There's no explanation. Yes, Councillor Vickers, if you could ask, if that would be helpful.
Yes.
On the topic of those transfers, we've not had an explanation on Beeson House other than it generates an income for them. What is frustrating is the original local government reorganisation discussions we had with the chief executive of Horsham indicated that Beeson House could be considered, but we were shut down quite quickly on it. But for now, we'll focus on the list of assets that can be taken under community asset transfer. But there is considerable work. I'm working my way through what's required. Yeah, I'll provide updates as and when.
Thank you. And as you know, one of the wants for us to acquire those assets was that puts us in control of them. Otherwise, it means we've got somebody else looking after bits of Southwater, which it makes it much better for us to be in control. Right, is that the conclusion of your report, or
Yes, yeah. Just for point of clarification, we did post a pretty detailed FAQs on our website to do with community asset transfers. Any transfers from Horsham to Southwater will have various terms and conditions and restrictions on the land, so they will be retained in perpetuity for the purpose that they have currently. But yeah, for more information, what I'll do is I'll put a link in the meeting minutes to it.
Thank you. Right, we'll now move on to item 48, which is correspondence, to receive any correspondence.
Yeah, we've received 3 correspondence. The first one, which Councillor Jeffries has already covered, which is the government has launched a second consultation on the local government reorganisation with 2 potential modifications. This has been shared with all councillors, and the consultation closes on the 15th of June. So please read it and submit your views. The Environment Agency is conducting a survey to find out what information people find most useful when checking if there's possible future flood risk. A survey has been forwarded to all councillors to complete before the 29th of May. HDC has invited parish councillors to attend a briefing session following the completion of the first stage of the local plan examination hearings. The briefing will cover the outcomes from the hearings and the next steps for plan preparation, including how the council will need to address the increased housing allocation. An invitation has been forwarded to all councillors. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that. We'll now move on to item 51, which is committees to receive and approve minutes and any recommendations coming from them. The first is the Finance and General Purposes Committees of the 15th of April 2026. Those at the meeting were Councillor Pearce, Brown, Moore, French, Potts, Brierley, Knott and Councillor Cole. Can I have a proposer for those minutes, please? Councillor Pearce has proposed, and a seconder, please. Councillor Brown has seconded. All those in favour that were at the meeting? 1, 2, 6, and that was unanimous. Councillor Brierley is not present, and Councillor Knott is not present. We now move on to item 2 of that, which is Planning Committee, and this is for noting only. These minutes have already been approved of the 1st of April. B of those, which is the Planning Committee minutes of the 6th of May, and these will require approval. And the 6th of May, those present were Councillor Watkins, Villis, Moore, Pearce, Haddon and Brierley. Can I have a proposer for those minutes, please? Councillor Haddon has proposed. A seconder is Councillor Villis. All those in favour who were at that meeting? Yes, thank you. That was unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to the Health and Safety Committee.
There's none.
And there is no report from them.
Next item's just for noting only, not for discussion.
The next is to receive a confidential briefing note, noting only. You would have had that. We now move on to item 52, which is the internal auditor's report. And that's to receive and note the contents and approve the final internal auditor's report for year ended the 31st of March 2026. You've had that report in your packs.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, just for the sake of the meeting minutes. So reports were circulated interim and final, 8th of October 2025. presented to council meeting 19th of November, minute reference 128. Final internal audit report was circulated by email on the 7th of May and presented to this meeting. There are no matters raised requiring action within the year-end internal audit, but there were suggestions in the interim audit which were subsequently actioned, and the IT policy was adopted on the 19th of November 2025. Any actions required have all been actioned during the period of the 1st of April 2025 to 31st of March 2026. So we just need to approve the report.
Right. I'd just like to say it's good to see an auditor's report where there's no actions and they haven't found anything that we're not doing correctly. So well done. Thank you for you and your team for maintaining that good position. Can I have a proposer to accept that report, please? Councillor Watkins has proposed. A seconder, please. Councillor Vickers has seconded. All those in favour of accepting that report, and that's unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to annual accounts for year ending the 31st of March. You've got the items in your pack to consider and approve. Now, of course, you've yes, you've had this pack. Can I have a proposer to accept these annual accounts for year ending the 31st of March, please? A proposer? Councillor Pearce has proposed. Councillor Woodrow has seconded. All those in favour? And again, unanimous. Thank you for that. We now have to consider and approve the annual governance and accountability return under item 54.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
Just to take the assertions under section 1 of the annual governance and accountability return as read. So that's items 1 through 10. Well, so to each one we have ticked the agreed box. As you've all received a copy of this, I'm not going to read out each one.
Each section. So I need a proposer and a seconder for that, please. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Villis has proposed, and a seconder, please. Councillor Potter has seconded. All those in favour? So that is authorised to sign that.
So I'll, Mr. Chairman, in the interest of just moving on, if I can grab you and we'll sign it.
And sign it after.
Yes.
We'll now move on to the item number 2 of that, and that is the accounting statements for 25-26. Again, that's to approve and sign. Can I have a proposer and seconder for those, please? Councillor Watkins has proposed, and a seconder, please. Councillor Cole has seconded. All those in favour? Thank you for that. Number 3 of item 54, notice of public rights.
These dates have been checked with the auditor. The official date of the announcement will be made on 2nd of June, but this will go up on our website in the next couple of days, and it will go on our notice board in the next couple of days, so it doesn't get forgotten. I think, Mr. Chairman, I'm just going to leave the meeting and grab the AGAR because I just want to get it. I'll get it signed now, just for the meeting minutes,
right?
In case the auditor wants. Okay.
Okay.
You can carry on.
Right. Okay. We're now moving on to item 55, which is the annual meeting governance items. What we have is standing orders to consider and approve continued use, so it's unchanged, but we need to approve them as a matter of course. So the standing orders, can I have a proposer, please, to continue use of the current standing orders? Councillor Watkins and a seconder, Councillor Cole. All those in favour of continued use? Thank you. That was unanimous. We move on to number 2 of 55, and that's finance regulations to consider and approve continued use, again unchanged as per website. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Willis has proposed a seconder, please. Councillor Pearce has seconded it. So the continued use of finance regulations. Can I have a vote, please? All in favour? Yes. Councillor Vickers? Yes, that's unanimous. Thank you. We now move on to Councillor Code of Conduct to consider approved continued use unchanged as per website. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Vickers has proposed, seconded by Councillor Cole. All those in favour? And that's again unanimous. Thank you. We now move on to members' allowance policy to consider and approve continued use of the members' allowances policy. Can I have a proposer and a seconder, please? Councillor Watkins has proposed. Councillor Pott has seconded. All those in favour? Thank you. We now have risk management schedule policy, and again to consider approve amendments to the risk management schedule. So there are amendments to those.
So if we could approve it as circulated, Councillor Woodrow has provided some suggestions to a line item which I agree with, and I'll be making some amendments which I'll bring to the next council meeting.
So we'll defer.
No, so
or we'll consider
approve it as is.
We'll approve as is, and then it will come to the next council
changes,
with the additional changes. So can we approve continued use to the risk management schedule policy as is?
As circulated, sorry.
As circulated. Can I have a proposer? Proposed by Councillor Woodrow, seconded by Councillor French. All those in favour? That's again unanimous.
If I could just note as well, after I exported it as a PDF, some of the colours weren't visible in track changes on Word. So I'm conscious that there's some risk ratings that aren't the right colour. So those will be updated when we finalise the document.
Right. Thank you for noting that. Calendar of meetings. To note the forthcoming calendar of meetings up to May 2027.
Just for noting only.
And that's for just noting only. Direct debits, we need to approve the continued use of the direct debits in accordance with the financial regulations. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Vickers has proposed and it's seconded by Councillor Cole. All those in favour? And that's the continued use. Councillor Watkins? Yes. Thank you. That was a unanimous decision. And then finally, under 55, we've got council subscriptions to approve continuation of subscriptions and memberships. Can I have a proposer, please, and a seconder? Proposer for the continued use of council subscriptions. Councillor Cole has proposed. Councillor Pearce has seconded. All those in favour, please. And again, unanimous. Thank you for that.
Mr. Chairman, could I just ask you to sign here? This is the AGAR. So if you sign here. And then sign here, please. Thank you very much.
There we are. Right. We now go into item number 56, policies to consider and approve. We've got an AI policy, new policy, and you will have received the briefing note on that. Data protection.
would you like me to speak?
Yes, please.
So it takes the policy that was presented to the last council meeting. It just softens it in places to reflect the reality and the practicalities of how this council operates. So, as you're all aware, councillors don't have hardware issued by the council, so you all use your own laptops and IT. So, on that basis, the previous policy was a bit restrictive in that sense. I'm conscious that there's quite a lot of automatically used AI being built into just Google search function, and so the changes are hopefully are self-explanatory from. Missing out the pack.
It's not here.
Has it been
Are
omitted?
we going to have to defer this?
Yeah. Oh, apologies. I didn't realise that hadn't been
It's
merged into the pack. On which basis this will need to be deferred to the next meeting.
right. So item.
Oh, wait, sorry. It's been numbered incorrectly. So 50 freedom of the parish policy, freedom of the data protection.
It's
They've
page
got the wrong
15.
numbers.
It's page 154. Yes.
They should all have a 56 in front of them and not 55. Apologies. In which case, hopefully all of the changes in the artificial intelligence policy are acceptable. On which basis we can move to approve it. Next steps after approving it is I will look to arrange initially training with staff, and then I'll arrange training with councillors as well.
Right. So can I have a proposer for the artificial intelligence policy version 2, as was in your pack? Councillor Woodrow has proposed and Councillor Potts has seconded. All those in favour? Thank you. That's unanimous. We now move on to the item which is at page 168, which is the training and development policy. And that's amended and with track changes. Can I have again a proposer and a seconder for the training and development policy, please? Councillor Vickers has proposed, and Councillor, I need a seconder, Councillor Villis has seconded. All those in favour of the training and development policy? And again, that's unanimous. Right, we now move on to item 3 of number 56, which is the fire safety policy. That is, it's under page 177. So I'd like a proposer for the fire safety policy. Councillor Villis has proposed the fire safety policy changes and seconded by Councillor Potts. All those in favour? And again, unanimous. Thank you for that.
The freedom of the parish policy is earlier on in the pack. Apologies again for the numbering.
Yes, that's page 92. And this is a new policy, so I'd like a proposer for that policy, please. Councillor Watkins has proposed. A seconder, please. Councillor French has seconded it. And vote, please. All in favour? And again, that was unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to item 5 of the policies, which is page number 98. And that is the data protection policy. These are amended, referring to the track changes. Can I have a proposer for those amendments, please, on the data protection policy? Councillor Verlis has proposed, Councillor Watkins has seconded. All those in favour? And again, unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to data protection of staff policy. That must be the
Page 141.
page 141.
It's very few changes, to be honest. It just changes it from referring to the A to the UK instead.
Right.
And it's a very minor change.
So can I have a proposer for the amended changes? Councillor Vickers, and seconded by Councillor Watkins. So all those in favour? Thank you for that. We now move on to item 57, which is Southwater and Shipley Joint Neighbourhood Plan, to consider a briefing note in relation to fair appointment of joint neighbourhood plans and related expenditure. You'll see on page number 1, this is set out on page 184. Are we noting?
So this requires consideration and approval. I put a draft resolution. I put a recommendation under heading 7, and then there's a draft resolution to consider. I had circulated this to Shipley Parish Council's chairman and parish clerk on the, I think it was the 12th of May. But I've not had any feedback on it, but I'm sure they will welcome this. I think it is a fair and equitable way to deal with it, so that the cost is shared equally amongst all households across Southwater and Shipley. Nominally, Southwater looks like it's covering more, but when you actually equate it to tax base, it is fair and equal. And just to make a comparison with population as well, when you do it on per capita, the figures are about the same. The difference is de minimis. So,
yes, in essence, it's unfair of a large parish expecting a smaller parish to join in something and just divide the cost. It doesn't work out. It's not fair. And this is equitable, meaning that we pay based on the number of people within the parish. And of course, it's going to the benefit of a joint neighbourhood plan means that there's more protection, and it extends across our parish boundary, whereas beforehand your protection ended at where your neighbourhood plan finished, which then was only the neighbourhood boundary. So can I have a proposer for
Chairman, just on the draft resolution, you've got to approve in principle. Can we have the words in principle removed?
So, for clarification then, the resolution is to approve that shared costs associated with the proposed Southwater and Shipley Joint Neighbourhood Plan are apportioned by tax base, currently equating to 88% for Southwater Parish Council and 12% for Shipley Parish Council, with parish-specific costs to be attributed to the relevant parish unless otherwise agreed, to delegate authority to the Executive Officer and RFO in consultation with the Chairman of the Neighbourhood Plan Consultation Group and Squires Planning to discuss, refine and progress the proposed cost apportionment mechanism with Shipley Parish Council, including practical arrangements for invoicing, cost recovery and administration, subject to any material change or additional budgetary commitment being reported back to Council.
Right. Are we happy with that resolution? Yes. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Watkins has proposed. Councillor Cole has seconded. All those in favour, please. And again, a unanimous show of hands. Thank you for that. We now move on to item 58, Southwater Skate Jams 2026. Would you like to take over?
So this briefing note was produced by a community engagement officer. We previously were hoping to arrange one of these last year in 2025, but unfortunately we weren't able to obtain any grants or sufficient donations to help make the event possible. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the community engagement officer on securing a £2,000 grant from the district council towards this event, and she's currently working on obtaining some additional funding. I understand she's been in contact with Southwater Community Partnership, CIC, to collaborate and provide some a donation, some funding towards some of the costs. You'll see from the briefing note, the event proposal follows a similar format to the one we did in 2023, but save with this event, she's been corresponding with the Crawley Parkour team, who will be bringing a portable parkour setup suitable for children, young people, and they also want to do some work with those with the SEN community. So the estimated event costs are £5,500 approximately. Actually, no, that's inclusive of VAT. Sorry, so obviously with that registered, so it would be less than that. We've got £2,000 of funding secured from Horsham District Council in the form of a grant. We have £562 in our earmark reserve for marketing and community engagement. And there's also £1,350 in budget 1014415, of which circa £400 was apportioned for allocation towards the Skate Jam event. So that gives a total of £962. So that takes us up to a balance of £3,000, just shy of £3,000. Just work out how much the costs are. Thanks for that. So there's currently a shortfall of about 1,500. So what she is looking for is that Southwater Parish Council consider approving a commitment of funding from general reserves to support any remaining shortfall if external grants that she's currently got applying for are unsuccessful. I know we have contacted a few other organisations. She's got 2 outstanding grants. She hasn't named them in here. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, are you proposing that we underwrite any balance that's not recovered under grants? Is that what you're actually looking for at this proposal?
So for consideration, Southwater Parish Council is to consider supporting and approving the expanded and more inclusive Skate Jam event and agreeing in principle to allocating funding from general reserves towards any remaining event costs should further external grant applications requests be unsuccessful for the Skate Jam event can take place this summer 2026. Also noting the successful grant award of £2,000 from HDC.
Council will need to know of a limit there. I think your calculation there was that about £1,000.
1,500.
1,500. So that is to underwrite that in case of an unsuccessful bids.
Are we going to the CIC, the Southwater Community Partnership CIC at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, there's probably another grant funding source that I may be able to allocate. If you could get the engagement officer to contact me on that, and I'll give her the details on it.
Okay.
But this is not necessarily committing to the cost. What it is underwriting it if the other grants are unsuccessful. we've got a wonderful skate park, and it's time we got it back up to everybody's eyes in realizing that facility is there, and unless you promote these facilities, they won't always be in the minds of people, and people won't realize they're there. So I think we will have to limit that to 1,500, which I think is sensible. But it's hoped that we won't need to delve into that or come to that if unsuccessful. Councillor French.
In the figures for this, is there anything to do with cleaning up afterwards?
That would be covered in-house by our litter wardens, and hopefully some volunteers from community partnership.
Could you confirm the date of it?
So there is no set date as such, because this is seeking approval from the council for the event first and foremost, and secondly to support any shortfall of unsuccessful grant funding. Subject to this being approved, I expect the community engagement officer will work on fixing a date.
Right. Can I have a proposer to underwrite the skate park jam up to a limit of £1,500? Councillor Vickers has proposed. Councillor French has seconded. All those in favour? Yes, and that's unanimous. Thank you for that. We now move on to item 59, Southwater Skate Park, Bensfield, to consider and receive a report regarding maintenance.
Mr. Chairman, if we go into any discussion with respect to any of the contractors, I would request or suggest we go into confidential session.
Okay. I think it's probably wise if we do go into confidential session now. The only item remaining on the agenda, which is item number 60, which is the date of the next council meeting, which is the 15th of July 2026. The annual meeting of the council being the 19th of May 2027. Right, in which case we will now go into confidential session and to discuss item 59. So we will end streaming, and I thank those that have been watching.